The great seekers across time have all shared one teaching. To know yourself is to know peace. But in a noisy, fast-moving world, that wisdom often gets drowned out. Peace? It feels more like a myth than a destination. And yet, I've seen glimpses of it. In moments of clarity, stillness, honesty. Enough to know that understanding yourself isn't just possible, it's powerful. It won't solve everything, but it might just shift everything. So today, I'm hiking into the wild, raw beauty of the highlands. Not for answers, but for perspective. And I invite you to come with me. Let's walk into nature to explore our own. Not through textbooks or teachings, but through quiet observation. What can the land, the cold wind, the silence of the mountains reveal about the self? What does it mean to live with wisdom instead of just knowledge? Let's begin, not with the question, who am I? But with a better one, what am I paying attention to? Music fades. When you live in cities, most animals become background noise. A sparrow on a railing, a dog in a stroller, a cat behind a window. They blend into the human world's rhythm. But out here, every creature feels like a teacher, watching a fox pace through snow, fur catching the morning light. Not thinking, just being, alert, alive. It reminds me, awareness doesn't begin in thought, it begins in presence. We often assume thought defines us, that our intelligence sets us apart. But I wonder, where did that idea even come from? Centuries ago, a philosopher named Descartes declared, "I think, therefore I am." That sentence shaped the modern world. It made thought the foundation of identity, but it also separated us from everything else. If animals don't think like us, are they less alive? If trees don't have minds, are they just objects? Descartes believed animals were machines without minds. Their cries in pain, just reactions. He split the human from the natural, the mind from the body, the sacred from the living world. Even science, long after it discarded the soul, kept this bias, that rational thought is the only real intelligence. But that belief left us feeling alone, like islands of awareness floating in a mechanical universe. Is that really what we are? So let's test a different idea. Place your hand over your chest. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. Notice the warmth of your skin. That's not thought. That's being. And if you recall a memory of someone you love, a smile, a shared silence, what arises? Not words, emotion, connection. So maybe I think, therefore I am, isn't the full truth. Maybe I feel, therefore I am, belongs in the conversation too. That shift changed my life, not overnight, but slowly. After university, I felt lost, drifting, anxious, caught in my own head. Looking for answers, I traveled east, imagining strength came from discipline. I ended up in a small Tai Chi school I hadn't even meant to find. Through slow movement and stillness, I learned something unexpected, that peace doesn't come from controlling thoughts, but from stepping outside of them. I realized, I'm not just the voice in my head, I'm the space it echoes in. Soft, ambient music returns. Let's come back to the animals for a moment, because if you sit with them long enough, you notice something important. They adapt, they respond, they choose. Science now shows that many animals share up to 80% of our DNA. Even celery shares about half. So if we're drawing lines of awareness, maybe they're not so clear-cut. Even more astonishing, we weren't the first humans to think, to feel, to bury our dead. Neanderthals, our close cousins, lived in communities, made tools, wore feathers, honored the dead. They crafted rituals in deep caves with no practical purpose, built circles of stone, lit fires. Those actions suggest stories, not just instinct, but imagination. So maybe thought didn't begin with us, maybe we inherited it, in fragments, in firelight. And if that's true, then consciousness isn't a miracle that appeared once. It's a thread that weaves through life itself, which leads to a deeper question. Not just what am I, but what are we all part of? Life on Earth began as rock and water, but something stirred, and that something learned to feel, to play, to tell stories. Through evolution, life became aware of itself. And through us, it began asking questions. Every culture tells stories to explain this mystery. And while the answers differ, the longing is the same: to feel connected, to feel known. That connection matters. Because the opposite of peace isn't chaos, it's disconnection. So if you feel lost, unsure, unworthy, remember this: you are made of the same energy as the stars, the wolves, the wind. You are not apart from nature, you are its voice. So, who are you? You are awareness embodied. You are feeling and thought, story and silence. You are not the storm inside your head. You are the sky it moves through. And maybe, just maybe, peace begins when we stop asking, who am I? And start paying attention to what we already are.